So I'll share my screen in a couple of seconds and we'll go through the plan. So we're going to be focusing more on the upper body today. So we're going to stretch out the hamstrings and glutes, especially after the guys who are with me on Wednesday, because we've got a right kicking on the lower body on Wednesday. So sit into a squat, push your knees out with your elbows, hook your fingers under your toes, and then raise your hips as high as you can. Stretch out the hamstrings and the lower back, and then sit yourself down into a squat as low as you can. Push the knees out with the elbows. So we're transitioning between the bottom of the squat for 3 seconds and then the top of the squat for 3 seconds. But the fingers stay under the toes at all times. Just transition up, down, up, down, up, down. Keep that going. Don't take offense if I mute you. I just want to make sure that everybody can hear me okay and we don't have any background noise going on. Good stuff. So 3 seconds high, 3 seconds low. Keep that going. And we're looking to stretch out those hammies as much as possible. And also the lower back. And if you're anything like me, you've got clicks and cracks going on all over the place. Okay, so up we come. We're going to keep the feet the same width as we just had there on our squat. And we're going to go into lunges. Kick forward, drop knee to floor. Squeeze abs, push yourself back up. Good. So we're stepping through. Big stride forward. Drop the knee to the floor. Glass of water on your head, you don't want to spill it, so we're staying as upright as possible. And again, this is your warm-up, so it's nice and slow. We're building up the tempo. We're increasing mobility and blood flow around the body and the cardio system. That's it. Good stuff. So trust me when I say you'll be nice and warm, especially on your upper body, after today. Set yourself up for the weekend nicely. All right. Okay, so we're going to activate those glutes, down onto our back, bend our knees, put our heels on the floor, drive our hips skyward, and back down, hit the floor. We're just trying to get those hamstrings and those glutes active and working for you. So we've got 4 10-minute AMRAPs, as many rounds as possible. They're supersets, so we should be getting about 5, possibly even 6 rounds in. And then we have a 5-minute AMRAP at the end. And I'll go through them all at the, in a couple of seconds. So primary focus today is on the upper body and then the core alongside that as well. Because I need to I need to give my legs a break. I've been kicking the crap out of them all week. Okay, up we come. We're going to go into the plank position, 2 hands, 2 feet on the floor, and you're going to bring 1 foot forward beside your hand, stretch out your hip flexor, and then it's a big arm rotation, and it should take you about 3 to 4 seconds on one side, and then we change 3 to 4 seconds on the other side, and we're trying to increase the range of movement as much as we can with every rep. And again, think about this as a mobility exercise as opposed to anything else other than your warm-up. So it's hip flexor stretch, hamstring groin, and then T-spine rotation. That's the one. Good, a couple more reps. And then we're gonna go through the plan. Dun, dun, dun. Throw a few tunes on and then work away. Okay, up you come, guys. Have a little goosey at your screen. I'm gonna share my screen now with you. And we will go through the plan. Where am I going? Share computer sound and share my desktop. Okay, so you will see, I'll get this out of the way. On the left-hand side of the screen, we have an AMRAP, and it's going to be a 10-minute long AMRAP. AMRAP stands for as many rounds as possible. And it's going to be a kettlebell offset push-up. So that means it's a push-up where the kettlebell is on the floor under one of your hands, and you're going to do 8 reps, 8 push-ups. It's going to take you 3 seconds to get your chest all the way to the floor. So it's 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, and then push. So it's 3 seconds on the way down, 1 second to come back up. All right, so it's a big drawn inhale on the way down and a big explosive exhale along with tight abs on the way up. So you're going to do 8 on the right, 8 on the left, and then we go into half kneeling press. That's where we put our knee on the floor as if we're just going to lunge. We're going to have the bell on our shoulder, and we are punching it in 1 second to the sky, and then we are dropping that elbow as low as possible over the course of 3 seconds, keeping the abs tight, and then punch it back up again, and then 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, down, bang. Okay, so that tempo is really important. So it's going to be 10 minutes, 2 exercises, working between. That's it. Just work between those 2 exercises for 10 minutes continuous, 8 reps right, 8 reps left, and then go to the next exercise. If you have any questions, shout at me now. If you don't have any questions, just nod your head and then get your kettlebell and we'll get into it. All right, so give yourself a little bit of space. And we're going to get into it now. I just need to move these guys out of the way so I can actually start my tunes. That's the one. I'll get that up there. Okay. All right. So we are hardcore gym mix. Yep. Right, we're going in 10 seconds, guys. You're going to put your kettlebell on the floor. You're going to put one hand on the bell, not the handle of the bell, the actual round globe part. 3, 2, 1, and let's drop into 8 reps on push-up. So we're not looking for full or really high tempo. We're looking for full range of movement. It's going to take 2 to 3 seconds to get all the way down, and 1 second to come all the way up. And the focus here is on the chest and the triceps. So work your way through the session. There is absolutely no need for high tempo because today is all about focus on the muscles of the upper body. And stay rigidly as you can to your timing. Don't freak out if you miss a rep or 2. Perfectly okay. So when you finish your 8 right and left on your offset push-up, it's into overhead press, 1 second up, and then it's 3 seconds down. Big inhale, drawn in over the duration of the drop. Focus on the elbow on the shoulder press. You want to get that elbow down as low as possible into the ribs. You squeeze those abs as you aggressively explode skyward. Again, working slowly, working with control through those reps. Nice work. We're 7 minutes and 40 seconds left. So for my tempo, I'm looking at about 4 rounds. Remember, if you have any problems or any questions, just unmute your mic, shout at me, and try and get them answered. Technique always beats tempo. When you're working between 8 and 12 reps at a controlled tempo, you're in hypertrophy territory, which is muscle gain, muscle building. And we're getting a lot of micro tears into those fibers, which in turn is going to result in stronger, denser tissue. In guys, it's going to get a larger tissue. Girls, becomes smaller, denser, stronger. Resist the urge to let gravity do it and drop it down. Fight the gravity on the way down. Good tempo, Lynn. Four minutes in, 6 to go. Okay, if you need to take a breather, Keep it short.
Don't worry if the sun don't shine. You've seen it before. You don't have to worry. Every day's an uphill climb.
Whew.
Nothing has changed.
Burning already. If you're lucky enough to have a range of kettlebells or dumbbells, feel free to play around with different weights. And you'd be surprised how important the role of the abs are, especially with the overhead press and the push-up in today's session. Full range of movement, especially on the push-up. Remember, sacrifice some of the tempo, sacrifice some of your time in order to get the right range, the full range. And use the whole palm of that hand when you're pushing through the floor. Right, Ronan, let's go again. Three minutes, 45 seconds to go. Slow, controlled, continuous reps with focus on that specific muscle and a target. In this case, it's the chest, shoulders, triceps. The abs are playing a supporting role, structural role. Burn. Nice work, guys. Good tempo, Marie. Two and a half minutes to go. 3/4 done. Two minutes, nice work. And you'll notice your heart rate is up, even though you haven't gone high tempo, because you're recruiting so many muscles in these 1-2 movements. Coming up on 90 seconds. Last 60 seconds. Stay with it. 30 seconds. Twenty seconds. And rest. Nice work, guys. Okay. Take a breather. Whew. Okay. Probably hear by my breathing. The heart rate is up. Get out of my way, you. There we go. Okay. So we're now going to go into kettlebell single arm row and then figure eights. Figure eights are going to be tough, guys. They're a real test of the abs and the shoulders. So single arm row, it's up to you how you want to rotate the wrist. So you're going to start in a bent over row position. You can put your left hand on your knee or your elbow on your knee. Shoulders are back, chest is out, head is up. Your back is perfectly straight and your upper body is parallel with the floor. You're going to squeeze those abs. You're going to draw it up in 1 second and then you're going to slowly release through that lat back down to the floor. So it's 8 on the right, 8 on the left, and then you're going to grab the bell, the globe of the bell, and you're going to draw a figure 8 in front of you. And you're not letting those hips rotate. You're just moving through the shoulders and the abs. Slow figure 8 for 8. 8 for 8. Okay. Any problems, any questions? Unmute, shout at me. Otherwise, we're going to get into it now. Okay, no questions. Excellent. Lynn, you have a question? Shoot. Can't hear you, Lynn. Yeah, you go halos instead of figure eights. Is that what you're asking? Your mic isn't working for me. Okay. All right, guys. We're going to go in 7 seconds. 7 seconds. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So it's single arm row to start. Shoulders back, chest out, head up. 1 up. 2, 3 down. 8 reps. Keep those abs tight. Remember, you're pulling from the lat, not your arm. The arm is purely the extension of the lat. Feel that bite on the right shoulder blade. And if you're really struggling to maintain that posture, chair or table, hand out in front on it, support yourself. Chest pushed out. Good stuff. So, when you're on the figure eights, it's literally 1 round. Make a number 8 in front of you, and then repeat for 8 reps. Infinity sign, essentially. Arms as straight as you can get them. Abs tight. Woo. Those figure eights are tough, guys. So really focus on keeping those abs tight. 1 round of 8s, and then you're back to your single arm row again. Exhausting. 7.5 gone. Or 2.5 gone, 7.5 to go. I wish it was 7.5 gone. Remember guys, you're in control of it, not the other way around. So if you need to stop and regroup, then you do it. You don't just hair off and gather momentum. When you're doing resistance training like this, you can take a breather every few seconds for a short period, reset, and go again. Four minutes in, 6 to go. Visualize the role that the lat plays on your back when you're pulling that dumbbell or kettlebell into your armpit. Always pro. Slower you go, more muscle tissue you're going to recruit, the better the return, the better the calorie burn. Visualization is so important. Visualize how the body is holding itself rigid and allowing itself to manipulate and move that weight using the muscles you're trying to target. In this case, it's the lat into the back and shoulder into the bicep. When you're doing your figure eights, visualize how stable your abs are being and how strong your body is upright as you contract all those stability muscles, which then in turn allows you to move that bell. Well over the halfway mark now. You can do all the high tempo sessions in the world. When you do a slow, continuous resistance session like this, it's more tiring. Woo, 4 minutes to go. I haven't moved off 1 meter squared, and my heart rate's past 140. Deliberate, focused, controlled, perfect movements. There's no room for swinging away at a weight when you're doing this workout. That's a different type of training entirely. You're doing at least 1 to 2 of these types of sessions a week. So make sure you've got a nice, well-rounded working week. You're going to catch yourself every few seconds going fast when you should be going slow. That's where you got to stay switched on. Catch yourself, reel it back in, re-establish the focus. Oh. 2 minutes, 20 seconds to go. Nice job, guys. Keep working. Minute 45. Oh. Remember your 3 seconds. Oh. 1 minute to go. Keep those abs tight. Keep the feet flat. Knees are soft. Hips are pushed slightly out the back. Oh, wow. 40 seconds. Oh, you are feeling good. This is good for you. I read it in a book once. Woo. 30 seconds. Seconds. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fast. Woo. All right. Take a breather. All right, grab some water. Okay, there we go. Sometimes you need a break from the music. Okay, if you got water, drink it. If you don't, I don't know, cry. Right, next one. We're gonna hit those biceps a little bit more, and we're gonna go back to the shoulders. So we're going into a half kneeling Lamo or Lamo Curl. After that, we're going to an upright row. So it's both half kneeling. So we're gonna go for 8 reps on the right Lamo Curl. So you get down, hang on, I'll move back a little further. You get down into your lunge. Now, think football width gap. There's enough gap between the foot and the knee that are on the floor for a football to roll back between. Because if I've got my knee behind my foot, I'm all of a sudden really unstable. And I've got to stabilize myself. If I can split my base, I'm nice and stable now, and I can work. All right? So, Lamo Curl, arm fully extended, palm facing forwards. Squeeze my abs, exhale as I do, curl to the shoulder, squeeze my abs, exhale as I do, punch to the sky. And then it's going to take you 1.5 seconds to get to the shoulder, and then a further 1.5 seconds to get back down to full extension. So that's 8 on the right, and then we change, and it's going to be 8 on the left. That's going to be tough. Squeeze your abs as you go. After that, we're going to go back to the right hand, right knee on the floor. Palm is now facing back towards you. You're going to squeeze your abs. You're going to shrug your shoulder, and then you're going to roll it back into your back pocket. So squeeze abs, shrug shoulder, roll back. And we're going to draw that bell up to the chin. We're not pulling, we are shrugging and rolling. And that generates some momentum, and the arm just steers that bell to the chin. So if you find yourself pulling, have a look at your shrug and your backwards roll. 8 on the right, and then change 8 on the left. Shrug, roll, and steer. Shrug, roll, and steer. We're looking to hit the shoulders, traps, bit of lats, and your abs. So, give yourself a bit of space. Get back down on the floor. And that keeps jumping over there for me. Why does it keep, there we go. And we're gonna go, I'll tell you what, I'll throw it up the top of the screen this time. because that's all been done. Okay. Nope. Zoom does not want to behave. Let's just leave it in the bottom. Less stress. Okay. Get your bell. Stick yourselves on the floor. Right knee on the floor. Bell is in your right hand. Ready to go. Lamo curl in 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So, big squeeze on the abs, curl to the shoulder, big squeeze on the abs, punch to the sky. And then it's a 3-second retreat back down, straight arm again. We're focusing on primarily the bicep, helped by the abs, and secondary is the shoulder, also helped by the abs. So we aren't doing direct ab work here, it's indirect. Low on the way down, deliberate movements. Don't freak out. If you lose track, get roughly 8 either side. Haven't guessed, targeting the upper body massively today. So both sides of the curl first. And then we go back, go both sides, upright row. Posture. Shoulder blades are back. Stomach is tight. Think of your elbow as a magnet and your ribs are metal. So that elbow has to get back and reattach itself to the ribs before you lower the arm back down again. And when you're curling the arm up, again, it has to be in contact with the ribs. With your upright row, remember the 3 focal points: shrug, roll, steer. Small movements, really beneficial. Exhausting. And remember that football width gap. It's the first thing we do when we get tired is we start to forget about our structural posture. And take half a second at the bottom of every rep to reset the posture and the technique, reaffirm, and go again. Woo. 3 in, 7 to go. So visualize the bicep contracting on the bicep curl. Visualize the shoulder contracting on the overhead press. This is tough. Whee. Now you can see why it's only 8 reps on each side. Form always outweighs tempo. Form, technique, posture, deliberate movements. Ay. I'm 1.5 in. I gotta take a little walk around. Get my head right. Oh, not taking too long. And then back down to upright row. And we're all coming up on the halfway mark now, guys. Before every rep starts, ask yourself, where should I feel it? How should I initiate it? What muscles are being used throughout? And what's the sequence of muscles being used as I fire? You can do all the cardio in the world. We're not going to be able to tax the nervous system and the muscular system and the skeletal system in this manner, doing just cardio. So it's really important that we get a nice mix of both. At least twice a week, slow it down. Dial in that fight against resistance levels. Instead of having a lightweight and just smashing out loads of reps. You're not going to get anything from that if you're constantly just doing cardio. Got to teach the body to resist against external forces. So it's maximum effort. Woo! Get that heart rate again. Three and a half to go. Pro. Woo! Hey, Lynn. Lynn, this is a spicy one, Lynn, isn't it? Totes. Keep going, guys. 2 minutes, 45 seconds. You can see the timer as well. So work to it. Always handy to have this on a laptop. Throw it up on a TV via HDMI if you can, because then you can see the workout on the screen and you can see the timer as opposed to squinting and looking at a small screen on your tablet or your phone. Two minutes to go. Remember what you're doing here, why you're doing it, how you're isolating specific muscle groups. Woo. Minute 45. There's the base. Minute 10. Just because the time is running down, it doesn't mean we shirk the technique and rush it. If anything, we use that as a cue to focus more on the technique, on the movement, on the discipline. Last 30 seconds. 20 seconds. Four, three, two, one, rest. Well done. All right, take a breather. Breathe that for a second. Grab a sup of water. Okay, we're now moving into this fourth 10-minute AMRAP, and then there's one more after, which is 5. And the last one, which is 5, is designed to hit the whole body. So with this one, we're going to be doing a Renegade Row. So we're going to go 8 on the right side. Now we're going to take the push-up out of the Renegade Row. So it's a high plank row, okay? We've already done enough on the chest and shoulders for the push-up to be covered. So we're going to go Renegade Row, high plank, hand on the bell. All right, so you're going to go into a high plank with your right hand on the bell. Your feet are the same width as your hands. You're going to squeeze your abs and you're going to draw that bell to your armpit and back to the floor. All right, we are really focusing on keeping those hips parallel with the floor. If you're really struggling, all you got to do is drop one knee or two to the floor. But we don't go behind the hands, we stay out. Hands beneath the shoulders as we draw that bell to the shoulder. All right, so we're going to go 8 on the right, 8 on the left. Then you're going to go onto your back with the kettlebell or dumbbell beyond your chest, and you're going to take a big inhale as you extend beyond the head, tip the floor, and then bring it back over the chest again. If you need help, put your other hand very lightly on your elbow in order to support and take maybe half a kilo or a third of a kilo out of the equation for you to be able to isolate that right side more. So it's abs again on both these exercises. So it's 8 right on the Renegade, 8 left on the Renegade, 8 extensions on the, around 8 reps on extension right and 8 reps on extension left. Oh God, I feel lightheaded now. You guys have all been resting and looking at the screen. I'll be talking the whole way through. Okay, so if you have any questions, ask me, and if I don't know the answer, I'll make up a convincing lie. Otherwise, we're going to get going in 10 seconds. So we're starting in the high plank position with our hand on the bell. All right, 10 seconds. Woo. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. High plank. Let's go. Arm is already trembling and supporting me. That's not a good sign, or is it? Whew. So use that hand that's on the floor to the maximum capacity. That means splaying the fingers, using the whole surface area. Fingertips, ball of the hand, push down. When you finish your Renegade Row, onto your back. Your knees are bent, your feet are on the floor. The weight is directly above your chest with one hand. Inhale as you extend beyond the head. Tip the floor very lightly, and then bring her back over the chest again. 8 reps. Inhale as you're going beyond the head. Engage the abs, squeeze abs, and press back. Keeping the arm as straight as you can. Don't forget you can support your elbow very lightly. Nice work. And for the love of hell, do not change kettlebell or hand above your face. Bring it down onto the chest or put it on the floor before you switch hands. Because I've seen firsthand what happens when someone is tired and tries to change a weight when it's directly above their head. And I've also done it to myself. And it is not nice because people laugh at the dent in your head. And then you try and find your way home. Oh, when you're concussed, good luck. You'll end up in a bush. Oh. Keep an eye on those abs at all times. If you're familiar with the dead bug in the overhead extension, push the small of your back into the floor. That will ensure we get full abdominal contraction. With 7 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Pick the lighter kettlebell. Whew. When you're in the Renegade Row, visualize the role the abs are playing and also the lat that's pulling. It's not your arm, it's the lat, just like you did on the single arm bent over row. It makes such a difference when you concentrate on the abs when you're working on the row. So for those of you who were here with me the last day, there's a stark contrast between the type of training we're doing today and the type of training we did on Wednesday. Wednesday was metabolic. So was Monday actually. And today is slower, strength and hypertrophy aimed. You can see how effective it is at getting the heart rate up regardless. It's just a different focus. Really important to mix it up. Get a nice cross section. Remember when you're changing hands, don't compromise that pretty face of yours. The small of that back pushed into the floor when you're doing the overhead extension, think dead bug. Control at all times. Coming up on halfway. Woo. Oh, you're earning your dinner today, guys. Midday on a Friday. No place I'd rather be. Well, there's about 5 other places I'd rather be, but let's not talk about them. I might get arrested. Remember, it's okay to take a little breather every now and then, as long as it's a short one, and you're concentrating when you get back into it tenfold on what's required of the muscles and the movement pattern. Oh. 4 minutes, 20 seconds to go. And with the overhead extension, you will notice one side tends to be a little bit stronger than the other. That's normal. That's why we're doing each side individually. So the stronger side can't mask the weaker side like you do with barbell work. So it's always important to mix up and go bilateral. So bilateral basically means splitting the body in half and training each side on its own. Oh. 3 minutes, 40 seconds to go. As you get tired, your technique is going to start to look for shortcuts. Do not allow it. If anything, once you catch yourself taking a shortcut subconsciously, you got to use that as a cue to reassert the movement pattern, how it should move, how it should feel, and what muscles are being used. Remember, you're the one who can feel how it works, so therefore you're the one who should be able to control. I can stand over you and I can tell you you're doing it right, but that's where you've got to do it nowadays. You've got to listen to what I'm saying, interpret, apply, and reassert and reapply on a continual basis. Okay. 2 minutes, 40 seconds. Keep moving. All it takes is everything. That's all. Whew. Two minutes. Woo! After this 2 minutes, we're going to get into a 5-minute AMRAP just to get that heart rate kicked up a little bit more and bring the lower body in from an accessory point of view. Remember, if you're giving yourself some help with the spare hand on the overhead extension, it's only the bare minimum of help. You want to isolate that right side. You've got to be a drill instructor on yourself. Minute 20 to go. You're feeling good. Well over the halfway of today's session. The finish line is just up around the next corner. Too far to turn back and go home. You may as well push on and do it right. Woo. 50 seconds. Oh, wow. Feeling strong. 30 seconds. Twenty seconds. Bring it home strong. Seven seconds. Woo! All right. So we're going to work, well, firstly, we're going to work on getting our heart rate down. But secondly, we're going to get into our finisher. So take a breather, grab some water there. Have a look at the screen. Okay, so what we're going to do, you all right, Jer?
I gotta go, Ronan.
Okay, no worries. You're going to miss the best part.
Million.
No worries. Better. Okay, guys, so we're working on this 5-minute AMRAP. So the 5-minute AMRAP is going to be 4 snatch, 4 clean, 4 push press, and then 4 burpees. We're only working for 5 minutes, so it's 4 snatch. It can be 2 hands or it can be 1 hand. It's up to you. The principle of the movement is the exact same regardless of whether you use 1 or 2 hands. Shoulders back, soft knees, stick your butt out. Back is nice and straight. 1 hand or 2 is on that bell. Extend the body into the floor as quickly as you can and push that bell beyond the head in 1 movement. You got 4 reps. You can alternate. You can go 2 hands. It's up to you. After that, you're going to go 4 clean. Exact same starting position, but this time the bell is steered onto the chest, whether it's 1 hand or 2. And then the next one after that is push press. Look at my hips. I stick them out like I'm shutting a door. My abs are tight. My back is tight. I snap my hips back into place. And as they lock in place, that energy travels up the body and out the top. If I let my hips hyperextend, I'm not going to have the energy traveling up. It's going to go that way. I don't want the bell to go that way. I want the bell to go that way. So as I snap my hips back into place, I tense my abs even more so. That transfers the energy up the body and down into the floor and gives me a nice linear push. After that, bell goes on floor and it's burpee town. 4, chest on floor, because if your chest doesn't touch the floor, I'll know and I will haunt you in your dreams. Okay, grab your kettlebell or your dumbbell or your bag of books, whatever it is. Let's get into our 4 kettlebell snatch. We're working for 5 minutes. The timer set for 10. Ignore that. It's just easier to use the 1 timer instead of 2. Okay, 4 snatch starting in 10 seconds. Oh, maybe not. Now start 5 seconds. Live shows, huh? Woo, 4, 3, snatch it for 4 in 2, 1. Let's roll. The aim is to go continuously for 5 minutes with a form that you can maintain perfectly throughout. After 4 snatch, it's 4 clean. After 4 clean, it's 4 push press. And after 4 push press, it's 4 burpees. Then we go back to the top and we start again. When you're doing your push press, think of the hips, not the knees. You're shutting a door behind you. And you don't have to go against anybody else but yourself. And again, it's 5 minutes, so it's not a 100-meter sprint. It's a kilometer through the kilometer and a bit run. It's a 1 mile run, 1,600 meters, right? So you set that pace in at the start, steady, continuous movement. And we go, we're already 1 minute in. Keep those shoulder blades pinned back, keep that chest pushed out. And again, it's all about the abs. You're not avoiding using the abs. The abs is what transfers the energy from upper to lower. And remember, rule number 1 when you're going to the gym where you're training is, wait for it, look cool. And you are not going to look cool with a crappy technique. You got to have that perfect technique to look cool when you're training. Whew. You can have all the gear in the world, still going to look crap with a crap technique. So saying that, take half a second to a second at the start of every lift. Focus on your technique. Lift it before you even actually visualize the lift, before you even initiate it. That's the halfway mark, guys. Keep moving. There is nothing after this but stretches. Woo! Oh, hello, heart rate. So as you get tired, don't be afraid to dial back the scaling of the technique. Square on one hand, maybe go 2. If the range of movement was killing you, dial back the range of movement. And remember, you were never pulling that weight off the floor. You were always pushing the weight off the floor by the extension on the legs and hips. We have 1 minute and 30 seconds left. Finish strong. Woo. Coming into the last 60 seconds. Give it the 60-second warrior. Oh. Everything's tense. Keeping tension in the system. Driving that floor away aggressively. Maintaining posture on the shoulder blades. Feeling good. No, 30 seconds. 10 seconds. And time. Woo. Rest there. Nice work, guys. Okay. Take a breather. Okay. Well done. Let's let that heart rate drop because we spiked it there for the last 5. That was like a sprint finish. Well done. So get some water.
So thank you.
Okay, no worries. See you, Lynn. Have a good day.
Thanks.
Okay, guys, so we're going to go into our cool down stretches. So we're just going to do a passive hang. So I want you to go as wide as you can with your feet. Soften your knees. Stick that ass out the back. Drop the backs of the hands to the floor. Control the breathing. In through nose. Out through mouth. And just relax everything along the posterior chain. So everything from the heels up the back of the body. Heels into Achilles, into soleus, into the calf itself, the whole calf, into the hamstrings. Hamstrings lead into the glutes. Glutes then into lower back into middle and upper back on the shoulder blades. Shoulder blades opening like a sunroof. And then the shoulder sockets themselves are releasing their grip on the arm. So with every exhale, visualize that sense of relaxation just working its way up the back of the body, taking off each muscle as you go. Heels are down, knees are soft in order to engage as much of the muscles, tendons, and ligaments as possible as opposed to the skeletal frame. And just sink into that stretch. And probably the last part that you'll feel stretching out is your lower back as you just kind of round it out and let those vertebrae relax into the stretch. Okay, so very slowly come out of that and go down, one knee on the floor, other foot in front, 2 hands on top of that knee, and just tip that knee forward. You all right, Margaret? Is that a smile or a grimace? So our foot is flat on the floor in front, our heel is down, we're tipping our knee forward, and we're getting a nice stretch on that left hip flexor if the left knee is on the floor, and vice versa if you're on the right. And again, as you exhale, allow the body to relax through the shoulder blades, and your upper body becomes heavier and it kind of falls forward. And as it falls forward, the knee gets pushed out in front more, and it just exaggerates the stretch on that left hip flexor. So again, every exhale, in through nose, out through mouth, and relax and sink just a little bit more. And you'll find more and more muscles throughout this stretch that need to be released as you go, like your hamstrings, your butt cheek, your shoulder blades. And very slowly up you come, change legs. Other one out in front, I got my right knee on the floor, my left foot in front. Could be opposite for you, so whatever I say, just do the opposite in relation to sides of the body. So 2 hands on knee, tip knee forward, relax the shoulder blades, and just let that hip flexor, in this case the right side, stretch out. Relax that hamstring on the supporting leg, butt cheek, shoulder blades, and the chest just falls forward. And you're using this time to bring that heart rate down. There we go, it's back down to 100. Okay, that was better. Nathan's just standing slightly off camera there on his phone. He hasn't done anything yet today. So feel free to get on social media there now and give him a little bit of a guilt trip.
No, you're all right, don't worry.
Here, put that cake down, come over and say hello, will you? Okay, up we come, guys. Take a big breath in. You might get a little spinny as you stand up, I am. Take a big breath in through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. That's your lot.